Hey guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Kelly, and today's video is going to be a tag video. I am very excited to film this video. It is the newest tag that I have seen floating around YouTube, and it is the Eyeshadow Wardrobe Tag. This tag was created in collaboration with Charlotte Holdcroft and Morgan Turner. They collaborated together to come up with this video. Charlotte Holdcroft was the creator of the foundation tag video, which I also filmed, so I will link that here if you want to check that out. I have been following both Charlotte and Morgan for a few months now, and I was really excited to see them collab with each other. So I will have all of the questions, all of the tag questions down below, but basically the idea behind this video is to think of different everyday situations and what eyeshadow palette you feel like you would reach for in each situation. So why don't we go ahead and get started. I tried really hard to pick a different eyeshadow in each category because in my last video, the eyeshadow palette tag, which is a different tag video, I filmed that one also, but in that video I feel like I was repeating the same eyeshadow palettes over and over, and while there were definitely multiple times where I wanted to say the same palette, I wanted to pick a different palette for each one. But if there was another repeating palette that came to mind, I'll let you know that also. But the very first question I knew right away, and it was if you are going to a wedding, whether you're a wedding guest, whether it's your own wedding, it would be the same for me either way. I have used the Anastasia Beverly Hills Modern Renaissance in several weddings. I have used this palette when I was in both of my girlfriends' weddings. I was in a wedding in July. I used this eyeshadow palette on myself. I was in a wedding a couple years ago, my girlfriend's wedding. I used this eyeshadow palette. Whenever I go to weddings, I use this eyeshadow palette. I typically reach for the front half of the palette. I don't really dip into these deeper berry shades, so I mean, I guess that could kind of be thought of as a waste of a palette, but as you can see here, this palette gets some love. I hit pan on Tempera and Vermeer recently, and this palette was the reason why I started a project pan in September of this year. I have a project pan going because I hit pan here and I got inspired. But that has nothing to do with this tag. I would definitely reach for my ABH anytime that I'm going to a wedding. I got married in 2013, and I wasn't, I've always been into makeup, but I wasn't into YouTube and stuff like that then, so I didn't do my own makeup, and I don't know what the makeup artist used on me, but if I were to do a vow renewal or something, that is the palette that I would reach for as well. The second situation is a date night. Okay, so disclaimer. This is where I wanted to repeat for date night and for girls night, which is the next one. I wanted to repeat, but I didn't. So for date night, I went a different way. I actually have been with my husband since 2009, and today is the first day that I found out how he prefers my makeup for date nights, because typically when I put makeup on, in all honesty, I'm putting makeup on for myself because I'm a makeup enthusiast and I just put on what I feel like putting on. But I asked him today what kind of makeup he preferred with me, and of course he starts out with, I don't know anything about makeup. So I'm like, okay, give me some options. Do you want a bold lip or a nude lip? He said, I prefer a nude lip, but I also like when you do red. I'm like, okay, nude or red. Got it. Then I said, what about the eyes? Do you like a deep smoky eye? Do you like something more light? He said, I prefer something more light. So I was like, okay, then if we're going for a date night, I would probably choose a red lip and I would go for a more light eye look shade. So I am going to say that that's where I would reach into my Makeup Geek eyeshadows, because I have several lid shades to choose from. I could go with Shimma Shimma. I could go with a more gold. I think this is Rapunzel. I have a few more bronze shades to choose from. And I also have these lighter shades down here, these duochrome lighter shades. So we would reach into the Makeup Geek eyeshadows for date night. Although, who's having date night because we're stuck in the house with Corona? Well, we don't have Corona, but Corona is out there. So we haven't had a date night in a very long time, thanks to being new parents and the Corona. But on our next date night, I would reach for this palette. Now, I did say that I wanted to repeat a palette because the next situation is girls' night, and I was thinking this could also be for date night too, but It is the eyeshadow palette that I am wearing on my eyes right now. It is the new Natasha Denona Glam palette. So I was thinking, okay, if my husband isn't into a smoky eye, then for girls' night, I'm gonna wanna do a smoky eye. So I could reach into this lash line shade, I could do a chocolate smoky eye with smoke and blend. I have a pop of color to put in my inner corner and my brow bone while the rest of it is matte. But this was also the palette that I wanted to save for date night too, because for date night, I love the shimmer shades in here. I really do love these shimmer shades. I feel like they could be one of the top shimmer shade formulas. Now, I've only used this palette a couple times, so I don't know if I can fully say that yet, but I've really been enjoying these shimmer shades, which is why this palette has my eye. I don't own this one yet, but I will. During the VIB sale, I will own this palette. But I think that this would be great for date night or for girls' night. So I chose a different one for date night so that we wouldn't be repeating. However, honorary date night, but for girls' night, I would go with a smoky eye for sure, because I feel like, you know what? My girlfriends would appreciate that, right? I mean, probably only Smegs. She's really my only girlfriend who's super into makeup like me, but she would appreciate a smoky eye. Number 4 is Vacation. Now, I've been watching some of these videos and a lot of people are choosing smaller palettes, and they're saying when you're traveling, when you're on vacation, you don't want something big and bulky. And while I get that, I get what they're coming from, I get what they're saying, but for me, if I'm going on vacation, I want options. So therefore, I do typically bring my very dirty Jaclyn Hill palette on vacation with me. This is a huge palette. There are lots of different shades to choose from. You could go neutral, you could go berry, you can smoke it out. You have some pops of color down in the corner. This is what I took to Florida with me when I was in my girlfriend's wedding, and I actually used this palette to do her makeup because she wanted more of like a purple undertone in her makeup look. So I think this was the shade. I'm pretty sure this was the shade I used on her lid if I'm remembering correctly. But when I travel, I want options. I want to be able to choose different eye looks without reaching into different palettes. So I know a lot of people want a smaller palette for convenience. That may be the case for you. However, for me, I want to have options. So even though it's big and bulky, I'm gonna have to go with a Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette. I don't really hear a ton of people talking about Morphe or Jaclyn Hill anymore, but I still think that's a very good palette. Number 5 was Graduation. That was a little tricky for me because I will age myself here. I graduated from high school in 2005 and I graduated from college in 2010. So it's been a while. It's been a decade since I graduated from anything. But that's okay. That's neither here nor there. I thought if I were graduating again today, or if I was doing someone's makeup for graduation, I think that I would reach into my Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette. And the reason why I said that is particularly for these two lid shades right here, Creme Brulee and Marzipan. You know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch them for you. Creme Brulee and Marzipan. I really like those two eyeshadows. If you have a deeper skin tone, I was doing one of my best friends, she's my old college roommate, I was doing her makeup for a concert. I'm gonna try and find the picture and insert it here so that you can see, but I used the Creme Brulee shade on her, and against her brown skin, it looked absolutely beautiful. But I really like those two lid shades. I also feel like if you wanted to like make it pop for graduation, you do have some options between the Amaretto, Candied Violet, Black Forest Truffle. You could even go for Gilded, what is this? It's hard to read upside down. Gilded Ganache right here. But I just felt like this is a nice traditional palette. You can't really go wrong with that for graduation because you could keep it basic, you could keep it simple, throw something in the crease, white chocolate all over the lid, go for a matte look. You have options here. So if I were to graduate again or do someone's makeup for graduation, that's what I'm saying. That's what I would go with. Christmas Day. In reality, I don't wear makeup for the holidays. Not for Thanksgiving, not for Christmas, not for New Year's, because I'm lame and I don't go anywhere and I don't do anything and I eat a lot of food. But if I was going somewhere and doing something for Christmas Day and I wanted to do my makeup, I would reach into the Master Palette by Mario. And the reason why I thought of this palette immediately was for the green shade Bronx. I think I would probably do something with the green shade Bronx all over the lid. I would probably take a little bit of Fifth Avenue in the middle to like highlight the center of my eye, to highlight it a little bit. But the Bronx shade just feels like Christmas to me. It feels like that would be a good Christmas shade. You could do Isabel in the crease, or even Lula, take a little bit of Violetta, deepen the crease, or smoke out the lower lash line. And I think that's the look that I would go for. Although I'm not going for any makeup on the holidays because I'm lazy. Anybody else like that? Anybody else not wear makeup on the holidays and they just like veg out? That's my style. I know that's not everybody's style, but that's my style. For number 7, birthday party. Now I don't know if this is like my birthday party or like am I going to a friend's birthday party? Is it my kid's birthday party? I'm a little unsure about that, but I did want to pick a different palette. I could have repeated any of the palettes that I've already mentioned, but if it were my birthday per se, I would probably dig into the Norvina palette. Purple is my favorite color. I love this palette. I feel like I neglect it sometimes. I forget about it here and there, but you do have some beautiful lid shades in here to choose from. So if it were my birthday and we were going out, I would probably reach in here and do either Dazzling or Summer on the lid, and I would probably take a little bit of Soul or even Celestial and put like a little pop of purple on the lower lash line. That's what I was thinking of, is doing more like neutral on the lid, taking Incense probably, or even a little bit of Eccentric in the crease, and then a little bit of Soul or even Celestial, mixing them both, throwing that on the lower lash line, throw a pop of purple in there. It's my favorite color. It's my birthday. Why not? That's what I was thinking. If it was my kid's birthday, it'd probably be a very different route, but we're gonna say, for all intents and purposes, that it is my birthday. Now, the next two, I again was going to say the same thing, but I'll switch it up for you. For the office, I was gonna say office and Errands everyday go-to are the same, because in all reality, I'm a teacher, so like for my 9-to-5 job, I kind of go pretty basic and everyday, and like I do my makeup really quick in the morning. I have to get up super early. So really these two could be the same thing, but I decided to choose my new Dominique Cosmetics Latte palette. I have been reaching into this palette lately, and I just love it. You do get very simple looks, I feel. Pretty basic, pretty go-to, pretty everyday. Great for the office if you're a teacher like me, but you do have some options in the lid shade. You could even go for a matte look. You could take Vanilla Cream, put it all over the lid, and just throw a crease shade in your crease. You can do whatever. You have options here, but either way, it's not going to be too loud or obnoxious for work, in my opinion. So that is why this baby is my work palette. I've been wearing it to work lately and getting some compliments on it, and I really do love it. And so I would typically say that's probably my same go-to every day also, but if we're thinking more of like an everyday errands, like really fast, like you need to get out the door and you need to go fast, then I would probably reach into my little quad. This is the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk quad. And the reason why I feel like I would reach into here is because I would take this shade. Do they have names? They do. Prime, Enhance, Pop, and Smoke. Prime, Enhance, Pop, and Smoke. Okay. Well, anyway, I would probably take the pink crease shade, throw that on my crease, and take this very first prime shade and put it on the lid and call it a day. If I wanted to do like a little bit extra in the crease, I could also take the smoke shade and like really blend it out, but I feel like this would be what I would go to for like errands. If I wanted something where I just looked put together, but I could do it really fast, a quad would be the way to go. So I think I'd have to give it to my girl Charlotte on that one. I'd have to say that would be the palette that I would go to for like fast, you know? And then the last one is for New Year's Day. We already touched on the fact that on New Year's Day I'm really lame and I'm at home with my husband and my kid, not wearing makeup, probably not even awake at midnight. But in my younger days, when I went out, I feel like this would be a very good New Year's palette. This is the Friendcation Palette. It was in collaboration with Dose of Colors, Desi X Katie, and the reason why I chose this was for their lid shades. I have to be very honest. I do not like chunky glitter, okay? I don't. As I get older, I like it less and less. This eyeshadow palette has chunky glitter in the lid shades. It does. You need to use your finger, possibly a glitter glue primer, has chunky glitter. However, when I'm thinking of New Year's, that's what I'm thinking of, chunky glitter. So I feel like you have a variety, okay? You could stick with champagne, do that all over the lid. You could deepen it up and smoke it out with these two deeper shades, or even this one right here. Are their names? Dirty Money? Dirty Money would be a really good lid shade. That's probably what I would do. I love the mattes in here, so I would take the two brown mattes, put them in my crease, and probably take Dirty Money and put it on the lid. I might even use my finger with this, what is this, Just a Kiss? Is that what that is? Hold on. Dirty Money. Yeah, that's got to be Just a Kiss. Or Churro. No, Just a Kiss. Okay. I would also take Just a Kiss and maybe pop that on the lid or on the inner corner and give me, like, you know, some glam for New Year's. Because you want glam on New Year's Day, right? Those of you that still go out, do you want glam on New Year's Day? That's what I think I would reach for. And that is going to do it for this video. That is my eyeshadow palette wardrobe tag. I would love to hear your picks in the comments down below. Let me know. Do we have some similarities? Do we have some differences? Tell me what you're thinking about the travel palette. Are you like me? You want to go big because you want options? Or do you reach for something that's tinier, more sleek, and easy to travel with? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.